Hey guys, welcome back to Get Motivated and Fit TV. If you're new to the channel, the concept behind Get Motivated is to get more out of life. So again, thank you for stopping by the channel. Thank you for watching the videos. Thank you for hitting that like and subscribing. If you saw my last video, I talk about how I picked up DoorDashing on the side. And it's already been my third week. I just finished my third week, and some things have changed from the beginning. So now for me, like, I'm starting to question, do I want to put more time into this? Because I've noticed it's been a lot slower. Only because I mean my rating's still high, so I'm getting, priority on those high paying orders, but I'm just sitting there while that order comes in. And right now, the most that I've gotten off of one order was 20 bucks, which I think that was pretty cool. The customer tipped pretty damn good, and every once in a while I'll get like a $3 order, $4 order. But for the most part, I'm just sitting there and waiting, waiting till that order comes in, and then it's gonna be a $7, $9, and I mean it'll add up, it will. But I don't like to sit there and wait. Like, I'm like, for me, it's like, okay, 10 minutes goes by and I'm just sitting there. I was like, okay, do I drive to another red zone, red zone, hot zone? But it's like, I don't want to. I'm already driving as it is. Like, I don't want to drive elsewhere. And I mean, for me, I would rather, stay where I'm at, drive to wherever I need to drop off, and then in that area, I'll pick up a delivery there and just keep going like that. That I don't mind doing. But if I'm sitting in one spot and nothing's happening, to drive to another side, and then, playing the whole what if thing. What if, I get an order, or what if I don't? So, like, I'd rather just stay put. But it's, I also wanted to mention that my first 3 days, I put in about $60 in gas. I started off that Thursday. I filled up with 20 bucks, and I worked Thursday morning 7 to 8:30. Then I went, from there I went to the gym and came back home. And the gym alone, it's a good 20-minute drive from where I stay at, and that's just because that's the gym that I love to go to. So that's why I take that drive over there. And so when I come back home, I shower and then get ready for the lunch at 11 o'clock. And I'm usually there from 11 to about 6:30, 7 o'clock. And so I'm already learning, right? When are the busy times, when are the slow times. So again, right? So I paid $20 that Thursday morning, and I worked the whole day. And by the time I got home Thursday night, I'm already like at a half a tank. So I'm like, okay, no, closer to, like, it was midway between half a tank and the quarter. So it was like midway. So I was like, okay. So Friday morning, instead of doing breakfast, I just went straight to the gym at about 7:30, 8 o'clock. Got my workout in Friday morning, and I came home, get ready, for 11 o'clock. So I did maybe like two orders on that Friday before I'm like, I have to put gas again. So I filled up again another 20. So that's already $40 Thursday and Friday. And then I DoorDash the rest of Friday to about 6 o'clock. And I will admit that something else too that you need to consider is the traffic. Oh my gosh. Like, if you have the patience and you don't mind sitting in traffic, that's one thing. But for me, like, so that's something else too. And especially on a Friday, yeah, sitting there in traffic, that was fun. And so I filled up Friday, did the DoorDash. So then Saturday went to work, came home, took a rest, and went back again DoorDash Saturday evening, 3 to 6:30. Sunday, same thing. So since I filled up Friday, I was able to still maintain Saturday and Sunday. By Sunday, I had to fill up again. So that was another 20. So that's already Thursday, Friday, and then Sunday, $60, right? So that's something else to think about. It's like, okay, I hit my goal for that week. So in my mind, okay, right off what I got paid off of that, I got to get my $60 back for gas and whatever else that's, money, extra money for, bills, extra money for, whatever I need in that case, right? Um, so that's something that, I mean, I got with with an accountant, a CPA, and that's what she told me to do, was to keep the receipts when I put gas, keep track of the mileage, and I'm using the phone as a business expense since I have to use the app. Um, and of course, right, getting the oil change, maintaining the car, keep the receipts for that. Um, is it worth it for me? I'm gonna say yes, because hey, I get paid every week. And what I love about it is that once Monday starts, you start off at zero. So you have from that Monday until Sunday night, to hit that goal, whatever that goal is for you. If you want to make $100, you want to make 300, whatever that goal is for you, then it's like, okay, it's on you. I think for me, the most that I ever made in one day was, I think, like 120, 130 about. So I think I've noticed that for every 2 hours, you get about $50, depending on how many orders come in. So for 6 hours, and you're getting what, $50 more or less. So yeah, right. But it all depends if that customer tips pretty good, or I mean, if we don't get that many orders, right? Like my first week, I did 64 deliveries that first week. So I mean, it was a pretty good week. Um, my second week, I still haven't got the total. Technically, I'm going from the second to third week. Um, but this one was less than what I made the past week, only because I have my kids, so it's like, my priorities are there too with the kids. So it's like I rather DoorDash a little bit of my time, and then spend the rest of my time with my kids. And that's what we did last night. I picked up some Little Caesars, we watched movies, and that's all we did. That's something that I like to do. We usually would go to the movies, but now, since we have the Voodoo Fandango app, like, I'd rather just, stay at home, because it gets expensive going out. Trying to think what else. Um, well, for the most part, like, all the customers, they just leave it at the door, right? Like, you don't have to deal with, I mean, there's a few that, like, that they want you to hand them the food, but for the most part, you just place it by the door, take a picture, make your way back to the car, and get ready for the next order. I've had a few issues already with some deliveries. I had one. The GPS told me to go this way. I go this way, and then I'm like, hold on, this doesn't look like. I'm going to some townhomes, and this is an apartment. So there I am calling the customer from the app, and luckily the customer answered, and they're like, "Let me look at your location." Like, "Oh, you're on the other side of the highway." And I'm like, oh, well, that makes sense, because, the app, sent me this way. So that was one. The other, I went to 7-Eleven for an order, and man, like, this one was gonna pay me $13. I was like, I'm sold. I'll take it. Well, I give the lady the name, and she goes, "That's not me. That's him, right? The other guy." So then the guy's like, "Oh, who's that for?" And I showed him who it was. He goes, "Oh yeah." He goes, I didn't get around to it because what he's asking for, we don't have in stock. Like, it was like 12 different items. I'm like, "Are you serious?" He's like, "Yeah." So there I am, having to cancel one by one, explaining why. And then by the sixth, seventh one, they're like, "Are you sure this isn't fraud?" Like, So I had to call support. Like, I was what's the word? I was directed to call support. So there I am, having, wasting time, just, getting through with support, and letting them know of the situation. Like, hey, I'm here at the 7-Eleven. Apparently, the clerk told me whatever the customer wanted, they don't have in stock. So there's nothing more else that I can do. So, like, okay, well, I'll go ahead and cancel out the order, and I'll refund, the money back to the customer. He goes, "And you're still gonna get paid half of what you were supposed to get paid." I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool, thanks, right?" But the fact was that it took time. Like, that's something that I've learned too, is Like, hey man, I want to go because I want to get paid. I want to knock out these deliveries and just go to the next one. But when I'm sitting there waiting, it's like, man, like, but yesterday too, I took this order, 275, $2.75. I was like, F it, because it's one of those things, right? It's like, any little bit's gonna add up. And I think yesterday, I think my goal, I wanted to hit 50. I wanted to make $50 for that day. And I was barely like at 30, and I was already like an hour and a half in. So I was like, F it. But then when I accepted the order, I completely forgot to check where am I going. Well, I mean, I was going pretty much to the south side, even though it was like maybe like a 15-minute drive from where I was at, but still, it's like, man, it's on the other side of town. So, you know, uh, at that point, I made a realization. It's like, you know what, like, and this goes for anybody. It's like, you need to know your worth, right? You need to know your worth for your time, for the value that you have. So at that point, after yesterday, I'm like, you know what, from here on out, anything below $4, I'm gonna decline. Like, I don't care if my rating goes down, because again, I'm just sitting there. I'm sitting there waiting for that high paying order to come in, where I can be doing $4 orders every so often, right? So earlier today, my first order, I'm there waiting for about 30 minutes. Finally comes in, 325. I'm like, decline, right? Hit decline, and like a few seconds later, $9 order came in, and I'm like, I'll take that one. So I hit accept, and it turns out DoorDash put the first order along. It was for Taco Bell, and then for Bill Miller's, and I'm like, I'll do both then. So I'm like, I hit, I guess what I'm trying to get at is, if I would have just accepted the first order, I think I would have missed out on the $9 order, right? So I went ahead and did those, and then I mean, I had a couple other deliveries, but again, right, it's like I have my kids, I want to spend time with them. I told them I was gonna take them out to eat, so I cut it short, and I went to go, pick up the kids. We went out to dinner, and again, I was thinking that they wanted to come back to the house, watch TV or watch movies. Nah, we want to stay at grandma and grandpa's. I'm like, okay. So I was like, you know what? I took that as an opportunity. Let me go DoorDash for another hour. And my first order, $19. I'm like, hey, I'll take it. So, it's one of those things, right, that you just got to be patient. But, depending where you're at, what side of town, I think that's also going to play a huge role. But, if you're looking for extra money, like, I think this is one way to do it. Just keep in mind, though, with the gas, right? And as soon as, like, for me, like, as soon as I'm going to put $20 in gas, in my mind, I'm like, okay, I need to make $20 back so I could put that back towards the gas. And then whatever else, that'll be profit, or however you want to look at it. I can't really tell you, like, how much you get paid per the hour. I think the more, like, the total amount that you do for the day, and then the hours that you worked, you can probably do the breakdown that way. Or depending on how many deliveries you did for that day, you can also do the breakdown, in that sense. Like, my first time when I did that Sunday, when I made $50 for about 2.5 hours, I'm like, hey, you know what? I made 25 the hour. I only did 6 deliveries, so I'm like, about $8 a delivery. Like, just however you want to see it. But that's just for me. That's at the crossroads where I'm at right now. It's like, do I want to put more time into this, where I'm taking a gamble of just sitting there and waiting, because there are other people that are door dashing as well. So I kind of feel like if there's already like 5, 6, 7, 10 other people that are door dashing, it's like, yeah, of course it's not going to be as busy versus if there's only like 2 or 3. But for me to run into other people that are door dashing, this must be a good thing, right? For me, just the fact that I get paid every week, like, man, like, sign me up. And that's something that I do regret, that I should have done DoorDash when I first found out about it years ago. but things happen the way they do. I'm glad that I'm door dashing now. Would I be doing this forever? I don't know, but as long as it's putting money in my pocket, like, yeah, I'll take that rate. But hope y'all are doing well. Hope y'all are blessed. Don't forget to hit that like. If y'all have any questions about DoorDash, put them in the comments and I'll answer them. Hope y'all are well. Hope y'all are blessed. And I'll see y'all on the next one.